All right, June 30th, very last day of June. How did we do this month? All right, just to be anticlimactic, no, the month didn't go perfectly, didn't go the way that I had hoped, but it wasn't too bad either. Um, what happened this month? We had the Battle of the Bands. Um, and it was my first time playing at Triangle in Maji Square. Um, and it was great, but I didn't win. I knew that we weren't as prepared as I wanted to be going into the battle. Um, I had a drummer who had one rehearsal, and we didn't get to everything as securely as I would have liked. Um, and then I had some miscues. I can blame somewhat on the tech setup and not having a proper sound check. So okay, excuses, but the thing to take away from the Battle of the Bands is one, Electric Monk played pretty well, and I had a lot of fun, and we just have gotten into this groove. I think as a band, we've gotten into a groove. And then the other important thing from that day was that I came out of my shell for the first time, really performing Project Maximus as a lead singer comfortably. Like it was the first time I've ever just really felt like I'm not going to worry about everybody else or anything, and I'm just going to be a performer. And I channeled all of the performers that I love to follow, my friends like Lily and Lance, and then people who are famous, whatever. I wanted to be in uh, the zone of being a real performer, and I think I pulled that off. Now it wasn't perfect, but it was the first time I really came and looked like I belong under the spotlight, like I was acting like a star. And I think that came across pretty noticeably. I got comments from one of the judges that he assumes that this is me, which in my mind, in the back of my mind, I know this hasn't been me for the first 41 years of my life, but it was me that day, and hopefully me moving forward. So so even though I didn't win the Battle of the Bands, I felt like that was sort of a coming out party for me, and I really hope to continue to take steps forward with that. All right, so I don't want to sugarcoat it though. It was disappointing that I didn't win. Um, but what came out of it was actually that judge that I just mentioned from the competition, he asked me to play in his band for Canada Day. So I ended up performing at Canada Day anyway, just as part of someone else's band. And that experience was great. I'm not going to jump to that yet because after that, um, we had my birthday, which actually happened to fall on the evening of my actual birthday, was the Electric Monk's last show for this year. And it was at this new bar called Riff Bar, which is this tiny, really cool space. It's really tiny, but really cool in Songsan. It's like you go up to like the second floor, and it's like you're hanging out in somebody's living room. Um, it's a small space, probably completely packed with people, including musicians and staff. You're looking at like 40 people in that space, and I think we had 40 people. Like it was completely packed. Now it was my birthday, and it just so happened that I had some friends who wanted to celebrate my birthday, and they got a bunch of people out. So um, maybe doing shows there in the future won't always be so lively, but it was such a fun experience, and I can't wait to go back and perform there. And Electric Monk, like I said, we're in a groove now, and I think everybody's happy, and we also know how to play well together. So it was a good way to end the year, and we plan to do a lot more next year, and I think we have a shot at doing more. So So that wraps up Electro Monk. And then the following weekend was Canada Day in Taiwan. They say it's the largest Canada celebration in the world outside of Canada. Um, it didn't feel that way. Now, granted, the weather was terrible, but it didn't feel that way. I felt like when we took the stage, and this was like starting to get to prime time when the band that I was in took the stage. I'd say there's probably like a total of 500 people at the most, 500 people everywhere. Um, in the audience itself, maybe like 300, maybe. That's being generous. So anyway, weather was bad. Weather was very sucky. So maybe turnout wasn't as great as they had hoped. But having said that, it was a really fun show, fun crowd. And it's important because, as you may know, if you've followed me for some time, I I wasn't planning to. I don't say yes to new projects much anymore. I have my band Electric Monk. I have my own band Project Maximus, and this is what I focus on. And I normally will not entertain doing something else unless it's like a good friend of mine or something, and we've talked about it for a while. But this judge, asked me to play in his band. Um, and something about it, maybe it's because it's Canada Day too, whatever. I was just like, okay, sure. I mean, I talked to him a little bit first just to make sure that I knew what I was getting into wasn't too much for me to handle. And it didn't seem like it would be. Like there was a clear set list, music that I'd be pretty familiar with already for the most part, and what he was asking me to do wasn't too challenging. He just wanted me to play some keys, fill in some things here and there, fill out the sound. I suggested I play violin as well. They loved it. So we had our rehearsal last week before the show. We had it on a Monday night, the one and only rehearsal for me. Apparently, this band has played together quite a bit, but this was my only rehearsal. I show up. I was pretty nervous. Not gonna lie, I was pretty nervous, but in a different way. It was a very different experience versus any of the other projects I've done. And I quickly realized that these guys is two things, and these are very important things. One, they're extremely talented and extremely well prepared. So, like, when it comes to talent plus preparation, I don't think I've played with anyone better than this group. It was the two Edus on guitar and drums, and they are so good. And then Kenneth, a new guy, I've seen him around, never met him before. Kenneth is a bassist who is very professional, knows exactly what he's doing. He locks it down on bass. And then Dexter was the judge who invited me, and he's a singer. All of them very on point and very prepared for what we were doing. And then the second thing is they're all super chill, funny, just trying to have fun. Like they're doing this, they know what they're doing, so why not just have fun? I guess is the mindset you can have when you are as talented as they are. So they, even though they were so good, and even though I was quite intimidated, they put me at ease very quickly, and it was honestly like the chillest, easiest rehearsal I've had. And then fast forward the show was great. Like it was about one of the best shows that I've played. And so it really changed 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 the way I think now, where I actually maybe, if the situation is right, if the players are right, I might be more willing to say yes to these kind of one-off gigs, just because I realize it can be very good. I don't want to go through the type of stress and pressure I used to go through, having to learn like new music for a show in very little time, no rehearsal, feeling super under prepared. I don't like that. And so I will still try to be very certain that I'm not stepping into that type of situation, but I will be willing to do something if somebody asks. So anyway, yeah, that broadened my horizons a bit, and that was just what 2 days ago, 3 days ago. And then today I had my last rehearsal with Project Maximus. We have the show this Saturday, and then that will wrap up this year. And then we leave for like 7 weeks for the summer. And hopefully, when I come back, I can pick up the momentum again. Now, I do need to address the song. My friend Terrence, I just saw when I got on YouTube. I only come on YouTube once a month to do this. And so I went on YouTube and I saw my friend ask me about the song release. So all of that. So this is the negative, or this is the stuff that didn't go well this month. My social media guy, who we had a lot of plans to really promote the heck out of this song release. It didn't go so well. I mean, he was busy. He kind of he told me that he felt really bad about what he had done so far, and he felt like he was dropping the ball. But it was also on me a lot too, because I wasn't pushing. And this type of thing is very psychological. Like I feel like to be very honest and clear, like I'm afraid to actually try to promote myself because I'm afraid that I'm not going to succeed at doing so. And so I don't try very hard to do that. And then we get into a situation like this. So we ended up pushing the song release back. And my social media guy, he was busy until about a week ago, maybe a week and a half ago. And so then that was when he wanted to start like working with me a lot. So we've shot a lot of content, but we've shot a lot of content. We've slowly tried to figure this out. But here we are, 3 days away from the song release, and we haven't put any content out. He wants to start doing that tonight. He's gonna come over. We're gonna work on some stuff. But yeah, I've just been dragging my feet. I mean, I know that originally the plan would have been to like put stuff out about 2 weeks ago in the run up. And I don't really feel that great about the content that we've put together either. And I kind of expected that this would happen, of course, because this is brand new for me. So we'll see. We'll try. So this may need to be updated in July. But anyway, we pushed the song release to July 3rd. I'm going to have my song release party on the 4th. But I'm not expecting there to be a ton of people because we're not promoting it. I think it's just going to be a very low-key show. And then as a band, we're not well rehearsed. We just rehearsed today. We did some of the songs that we'd never played before. So I know that this show is just going to be sort of a rehearsal show. And I think we'll play pretty well, but it's not going to be up to the standard that I would want if I was really going to be trying to like draw a large crowd. So it is what it is. We're just gonna do our best. It'll be sort of like a rehearsal type of show. I don't anticipate having people come who I don't know. Like I don't anticipate new fans coming out, right? And then we'll just try our best to pick up in the fall. And I say that there's a little bit of regret in my voice. It's a little maybe not what we want, but I can say unequivocally that there's been progress though. So at least every month I'm moving forward, including the summer. This summer I'm not going to be just doing nothing. We're going to continue to promote. I'm going to continue to do social media. I'm going to go into the studio for 3 new songs. I'm going to be applying to multiple festivals. So it's not like nothing will happen during the summer. So from sort of a holistic standpoint, I think I'm not too disappointed in everything, but I do realize that I could do more. But you have to also see that I have done a lot that I was uncomfortable with that's already pushed me forward quite a bit. So if I'm going to be disappointed in some of the things that I've done, I should also be very proud in the other things. So yeah, so here we are. First Chinese song gonna drop next week or this week. Um, gonna then drop 2 more songs 1 month after the next over the summer while I'm going into the studio. So I think we'll have a song come out every month through the end of the year, including the song with Lily. So I get to like do some collaboration as well. Yeah, I don't have much. This is the update. So June didn't go great, but it didn't go poorly either. I will mention that when I come back, I already have stuff scheduled for the fall. So this is not. So this is new. I mean, it's a sign of progress. Like in the past, I wouldn't have things lined up, but now I do. So I have a show at Bad Mama. They started a series during the week on Wednesday nights, and so they wanted me to be part of that this month. And we talked about it a bit, and I pulled out. I was like, I'm not going to be ready this month. So they're like, okay, let's do let's pick a date in September, and we did. And they want to promote the heck out of it, and they really want me to like. The promoter was really talking me up. He was trying to get me hyped up about doing a show there. He was also talking up the venue. He's like, this venue, we're becoming known as the place to go for like quality indie music, like people who are on the upswing, who aren't discovered yet. People know we come to this. I kind of rolled my eyes as he was talking, but I do appreciate that that's how they see themselves, and so. Let's try and do it. Let's try and do it together. So we have a show set for September. I'm going back to Hangchuan to perform in September as well. And so so I do have these milestones or that I can work towards to really at least give me hope that I can I'm going to do a good show there, and we're going to finally have our stuff together, and we're going to crush it, things like that. I mean, it's good for the psyche. Electric Monk actually has a date in November in Hangchuan too, so that'll be fun to bring Electric Monk down for the first time down there to people who appreciate like rock music. And I was going to say something else about the band in Hangchuan. Oh yeah. And the other to me important aspect of progress, I talked about this last month, is that now I'm a solo artist. That's my mentality, right? And to that end, I think I have a lot of musicians around me who can really play well and step up when I need them to, and so that's making me feel a lot better. I feel like now I have, from the last 2 weeks, I have a drummer who's really solid and he's learning the music really well. And maybe this weekend we're not going to be there yet, but he's on the path to being really, really a great drummer for me. Axel's starting to get, he's always good, but he's starting to feel more comfortable. You can see he's transitioning more towards being comfortable with my songs. And then Mark, same as Axel on the bass. And you still have things to work on, but everything is slowly coming together and you can see the progress. But on top of that, I now have Edu, who I think in a pinch can easily drum for me. So he's like a backup drummer now. And then Edu, again, same guy. For the first time ever, I feel like I could have somebody as a backup for Axel, because I used to think no Axel, no show. And that's a tough situation to be in if you're a solo artist, entirely depending on one other person if you ever want to do a show. So now I think with Edu, I can have Edu be Axel's backup. And so now suddenly I have options. And that's really tangible progress. And I can go and I can try to book more shows and bring Edu along if Axel can't do it, and I don't need to worry so much. So yeah, all right. So that's the last important thing I wanted to say. That is all. I might be signing off for the month, for the summer now. So the next update will be in 3 months. Or I might do some quick updates on the road because maybe stuff will be happening, unlike the past where I just kind of unplugged for what 2 months or more. Now we'll see. Yeah. So all right, that is it. Uh, got a lot to do before we head out for the summer too. You know how it always is. A lot of stress to leave for the summer. Okay, that's it. Bye.